Now, when it comes to approach, there are two types of approach. I've written about these two types in that one of the slides also. That one, what you say, method one, or what you say is the school method. Okay. Basically, or you can say the conventional method, conventional approach. Why do we say school method? Because this is what we used to use in school, when we are solving math questions. Okay. In school, what used to happen that for a math question, there were no options given. So because there were no options given, okay, what you had to do compulsorily was you had to think of some variables. Remember? Oh, let this be X, let this be Y. Correct? You had to think of some equations. Yeah, 2x plus 3y is this, 4x plus 5y is this, and equation 1, equation 2. You have to write certain steps and all, putting 2 into 1 and all that stuff there are. You have to think of some formulae. Yeah, fine. So we know that we have done this year after year. So we know all these things, okay? Fine. So the basic, you should know the basic algebra. You should know how to frame the basic equations, how to deal with basic variables. That we already know. Yeah, that basics what you require in your exam, we already know. But that cannot be our core approach, So what we do here is that method 2, what you say, okay, or what in your language, what you call as shortcuts, what we call is modern approaches. Okay, modern approaches, smarter approaches, thinking out of the box, practical, non-mathematical, non-mechanical approaches. And we always say the key to math is a non-mathematical approach. The moment you approach math mathematically, that's the first mistake you make. Okay, so here there are 7 such modern approaches that we use in math. Okay, namely plug-in, or you can say substitution, back solving. You've heard of these names, correct? Back solving and elimination, approximation, diagrammatic presentation, visualization, following the trend, the last one, trial and error. And I have mentioned about these things, in one of the slides in the PPT. Okay, so I'm not saying that you have to use this way or that way, but we already know these ways. But these ways are the ways which we use in a math exam, and this is not math exam. We discussed this in the orientation also. Quantitative reasoning, where it's very important, when you want to finish the paper, as you say, so I want to finish the question in 2 minutes with the right answer convincingly. Yeah, that is the reason. That is when these methods, modern approaches, come into play. Okay, so these are not only time-saving techniques. Okay, time to bachta hai, that is fine, but you also get the answer, and very convincingly when you use these methods. But again, not every question is meant for all the methods, so it depends upon the nature of the question. You'll understand when you can plug in, when you can back solve, when you can approximate, when you cannot approximate, when you can back solve, when you cannot back solve. That comes only with practice. Okay, but we'll see, what we'll do is that we'll take few examples, okay, and understand what these approaches mean. One by one, I'll give you small examples so you understand how to use this and when to use this. But again, these things are not only for today's topic. We have done this. These methods we use in every class, as and when the question comes. Okay, fine, depends upon the nature of the question.